Hello everyone. So today we are going to perform injection attack on a demo application which is jam vulnerable Graphql application. So before starting with the demo, you need to have this application installed in your local host system, and then after that you need to have this burp suite installed in your Linux operating system in order to capture the request which is going from the browser to the server. And in case you don't have this tool in your system, you can use your browser to do so. You just have to press the F12 button, and then after that in the network tab you just have to press on reload. So you have to wait for the request to come on the particular screen. Yep. So on these multiple requests that we have on our screen, so you just have to select any one, and you will get when you click on the right click of the mouse, you will get a edit and resend option. So once you click on edit and resend, you can see that you are able to like modify the request and change it according to your requirement. So you can just send it from here, and you can see the response of that particular request that you have sent. Now we will start moving with our application, and we will be discussing about various different injection attacks like XSS, then SQL injection, then HTML injection. So first is XSS attack, and it is of three types: reflected, stored, and DOM based. So in the reflected, you just have to search for a parameter and enter a payload of XSS, and if it reflects back on the same screen, it is a XSS. So I'm going to demonstrate the stored XSS. So in order to do so, I am going to capture a request with some parameter in it. Okay, I'll turn the intercept on, and then after that, I'll just reload this screen. I'll check that it is capturing. Yes, it is capturing the request. So I'll look for some parameter. Okay. So this page is having multiple parameters: title, visibility, your message. So first I'll just type down test one. We'll leave it as public. Then test two. And before clicking on submit, I'll turn the intercept on and I'll submit it. Okay. Now as we can see that the request is in our proxy tool. Now I'll send it to a repeater. So how repeater works, you can just take that particular request and keep on repeating that request. Now we will send this particular request and see its response. Now in order to check for a stored XSS, we will look for those parameters that stores the data in the server side, like some sort of feedback form, some sort of information that is going to be stored in the server. So if you type down something in the request part, and if it is getting reflected in the response part, then there may be a possibility then that you can have a XSS you can do a XSS attack into that particular field. Now I'm going to change this particular title parameter with a XSS basic payload. Okay, so this is a very basic XSS payload, and that we are going to inject into the application. So once I click on send, as you can see, the payload is getting reflected in the response part. Now we will go to the application, and we will see in the public paste of the application that are we getting this particular payload response or not. So first I'll show you private paste. As you can see, no pop-ups will be we have no pop-ups on this particular screen. But once I click on public paste, so you can see that we are going getting a message pop-up message that one. So this is just because of the payload that we have injected. Let's say if we want the cookies to be popped up on the UI of the application, so I just have to go here. I'll remove this one and write down document dot cookie. and I'll just send this particular request. Now I'll go back to the application. I'll go to the private page. I'll just click on OK. I'll click on public page. So as you can see, it will throw us the value of the cookie that we have entered in the payload. So this was stored cross-site scripting, and now we'll move to the HTML injection. Before that, I'll be rolling back the DVG application. Now I will again look for some parameter to perform the HTML injection. Okay, so here's a again we are having this title, so I'll just write HTML1 and HTML2. You can write anything. I'm just um writing it as HTML because I want to make it a different request. So I'll just click on submit. Now I will see my proxy tool. So here I can see that the request is here. So I'll just send it to repeater again. Now in the repeater, as we can see, we have the parameters, and as we know that they are going to get reflected back in the response part. So I'll just try with a very basic like HTML payload, which is this H1, you can say test payload, and we'll close it. And for the content, we'll use a different payload for htable. So it is going to be this. This is a test of HTML injection. Okay, so I'll just send it. Okay, so we are getting the response. Now let's get back to the public paste of the application. Okay, so when we go to the public paste of the application, as we can see, the payload that we have injected are have changed the text shape, and the content is coming in a bold. So as you can see here, so we will try exploiting it furthermore. So I'll just add some different payload in the particular section. I'll try to add some iframe of a very malicious application. Let's say you can add a malicious application here. I'm going to use a example.com iframe here. So I'll just send it, and yes, it is already in the screen. Let's just refresh. Okay, so it came twice. So in this particular section, you can add your malicious website, and you can have the keystrokes or information, login information of the particular end user. So this was HTML injection. Now I'll just quickly roll back the DVG application. Now the third one is the SQL injection. So we will do the SQL injection, but before that, we will look for some request which is different. So I'll be using this paste query, this query, and I'll just send it to repeater. So I have installed a inql extension for burp suite, so it will help me to make the query to make query easily. Okay, so I'll just paste that particular request, and I'll just go here. So I have just trimmed down the particular request. So as you can see, you are getting a 200 okay, but you are not getting any data or anything on this response part. So I'll just try having some SQL payload in here, very basic payload. So as you can see, we are getting a SQL error. So which means that there is a possibility that we can perform a SQL injection into this particular parameter. So if I'm able to balance this particular query, let's say I'll write down or 1 equal to 1. Okay, so let's see what will happen. as you can see that we are getting the content and title of that of the all the paste that I have done. And if I say IP IDDR, so yeah, it is throwing the IP addresses as well. So this is how we perform injections in the particular GraphQL application. So this is a vulnerable application, which is why we are getting this very simply. But in some cases, it is very difficult for us to find the perfect parameter. Sometimes we have to create our own payloads to exploit those particular applications. So I hope I was able to uh, deliver my content, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you.